Hey John, how's it going?
Eric, not too bad. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing. I'm actually a little sleepy, if I'm honest. Uh,
Yeah, well, what do you? The days are long, but the years are short. Is that the way that saying goes? Something like that. Sometimes
that works for me.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I bought a toy this evening, and I have not been able to play with it at all.
A new toy.
You know.
Okay, because I know you had. Well, sorry, I can see the notes. Continue with your new toy.
Well, so uh, so I had a project for that my wife and I were trying to do this past weekend, and I had a problem. This
Mm-hmm.
is actually, I don't know, this is my just general update, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
so because I have a saw stop, right?
Yep.
And we were trying to do, it's a woodworking project that for her classroom that, of course, we had all summer, but all summer has been very busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't think I've had a weekend where it wasn't either booked or I was gone for since the beginning of June. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Other than the fact that, like, by the way, the school starts in like 3 weeks, and
Yeah.
like, you know, she's been very busy getting her classroom together. Anyway, no. It's like tick tock, tick tock. There's like 2 weekends left. Get it done.
Uh-huh.
And so she was out helping me do like some of the cuts, and my table saw stopped working. And of course, it stopped working on Friday night because I was trying to get a head start on the weekend.
Right.
And I'm with Gemini, like trying to debug the table saw.
Okay.
Gemini was awesome. I have to say, Gemini was awesome. Although,
Okay.
but you know, I was like, I'm asking Gemini, wait, what do I do with the multimeter? And so like if it gave me the wrong answer, it could have been bad, perhaps. Because I have the electrical box off to try and test. It's a three-phase saw, so try and test whether it's a voltage problem.
Uh-huh.
Because I have a green light on the front of the saw, but it won't
Mm-hmm.
turn on. Like nothing. No
Okay.
thunks, no anything. And it uses 110 voltage to like basically do some solenoid or something like that in order to do the bring on the three-phase power. It's like totally working. And so, Gemini gets down eventually to the fact that, hey, it's your controller board bar box on the front of the saw. Because
Mm-hmm.
it gave me a bunch of other things. And I was like, no, it's not that because it's been working for years, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's probably the mechanical connection between the paddle that you have to pull to start and push to stop and the solenoid or whatever. And
Okay.
I mean, I took the box apart. I looked in there. I blew it out. Made sure that there was no sawdust in there. Anyway, net. I was like, crap, it's that box. I went to Rockler on Saturday. Oh, by the way, SawStop is not open on weekends, period. And
Okay.
so I actually ran to Rockler because I know they're a vendor or a
Mm-hmm.
reseller or whatever. On Saturday, no, they do not have parts.
Hmm.
I was $161 on the SawStop website, but I figured that SawStop is actually in Tualatin. So if I talk to somebody on support, I could maybe just run down to Tualatin, which is like 20 minutes away,
Right. Pick it up.
in at lunchtime on Monday and pick it up. So like Monday morning, 7 a.m. I literally was on the phone 7:01 with SawStop, and the guy was a genius and brilliant. And he's like, "Oh, I bet you I have a solution for you that won't require you to buy anything else." And I'm like,
Do
"Okay, do
tell.
tell." Exactly right. Exactly right. And so he sends me a PDF, and I'm like, "All right, thank you very much. I'll try it. I'll try it when I get a chance." And I went out sometime when I had a break, and so literally the solution was take off the box again, and then there's a screwdriver where the spring goes on, like holds this. There's a spring and a little lever, and you tighten the screw holding the spring. So a quarter turn was about how much? Maybe half a turn. I was able to tighten it, and then it worked.
Of
And I
course
was
it did.
like, Are you kidding me? I burnt my whole weekend. Like one half of my possible work weekends was lost due to a half a turn of a screw.
Sorry,
Anyway,
dude.
net, I didn't spend $161, so that was awesome.
Bonus.
But so that gets to my toy. Like I could not cut. Like I have some long pieces of plywood and I need a nice straight cut on them, and the table saw is the wrong saw for the job. I know you're aware. I have many ways to cut wood in the shop, but I don't have a track saw, or I didn't have a track saw. So now I have a track saw. So anyway, no.
Okay.
So tomorrow night is the night, because tonight I went after work. I went down to Rockler, grabbed it. He actually talked me into a cheaper one. He's like, dude, I got this one and it's awesome. And I was like, ooh, it's like half price. So, okay, I'll get the cheaper one.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, net. But I also wanted the battery one. But of course, DeWalt doesn't have one. No, I have to get a Makita. So I got the Makita. He said it's awesome. I do not have Makita batteries. It came with the battery. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. All these things. But net, I have a battery operated track saw where the batteries were dead. So I had to charge them first thing.
Of course.
So tomorrow I will get to play with the new toy.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right.
And if ever you need a table saw or a chop saw or a scroll saw or a circular saw or a hand saw or a miter saw or a I have all the saws now. Chainsaw? Did I say chainsaw? Pole saw? Oh, actually, I have a pole saw too. Okay. Anyway, this has been saw talk. Okay.
Well,
how about you? How was your weekend? I bet you did something a little more productive and a little less out in the shop.
I did do a little less out in the shop. We I think I mentioned last week, my daughter and her new husband were here because she had to get her name changed at
yes.
the DMV, and she had to do it in person. So they came out.
Yes.
And it was also my anniversary. So Ben were married for a very long time, happily married for a very long time now. And so we went out to this place I've wanted to try forever, which has never been on the list, but it's authentic Peruvian food. Which you would wonder, what is Peruvian food?
I do not know what Peruvian food is.
It is really good, is what it is. We will be going back to this place.
That does not help. But
so,
okay.
What I had these steak bites in brown sauce on rice, and it had some fried banana and some fried potato, and I don't know how to describe it. It was actually quite good. My wife got a fried rice dish, which kind of had a little bit of a Chinese.
I was going to say, I don't think of fried rice as.
But apparently, fried rice is a big thing in Peru.
And I didn't know that. Okay.
I didn't either. And then there are some other things that had. So we tried a bunch of different kind of appetizers and things. It was really good. I will go back there. I don't know how to describe it though, because I knew it was not Mexican food. It wasn't tacos. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be tacos, but I did not know what to expect. It was actually quite good. So
I guess interesting. Okay.
So that's what we did.
But as opposed to Brazil and Argentina, where it's all
heavy meat. No, this was heavy on the rice and vegetables.
Okay.
And the fry. I thought it was actually potatoes, and it turned out it was fried bananas. So it was actually still quite good.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yum.
it was lazy weekend. Yay, marriage. So that was my weekend.
Awesome. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if I'm able to accomplish my project in time. We'll see.
TikTok.
Work to be done. I know.
Yeah.
And Okay, so hey, I have a piece of follow up because this was actually
Uh-huh.
your something fun though. But
Uh-huh.
NASA released images of the impact of the um uh what
Space
was it, the
debris.
Falcon
Yeah, the
9, the
Falcon
Falcon
9
9.
rocket thing
Um,
piece.
yeah. So
Rocket
so
parts.
actually so they didn't image it though for 6 days because evidently to capture imagery of the impact, the engineers had to tilt the lunar reconnaissance orbiter so its cameras would point towards the crater every time the LRO passed
As it went around. Yeah.
as it goes around. But I mean, I guess I've seen simulated videos or animations of this, but evidently the lunar orbiter circles Mars every 2 hours.
The moon.
Sorry, I said Mars. I'm thinking Mars.
Yep.
Yeah, but circles
Hmm.
the moon
Yep.
every 2 hours,
Okay.
and then the moon rotates underneath it. So, in order to, if you have a very specific part of the moon that you would like to photograph, you get to wait, evidently 6 days, for that part of the moon to pass underneath where the lunar
Right.
reconnaissance orbiter is going to pass over on the top, and then they have to like be very
Math.
like hold hold your finger above the shutter and push at the right time,
Right.
because it's traveling mile per second. So
Uh-huh.
if you're a
Little speedy.
second early or late, you can have a angular shot at whatever it is. It won't be
Right.
centered. So anyway, they released some images. I mean, there's like a 3-frame animation on the NASA website,
Hmm.
but there's a description on the article that we can link about.
Cool.
There's looks like rays of light and dark kind of spreading out from where it is, and they're basically saying, "Oh, that's the top of the lunar dust that has been exposed to,
Right.
you know, I guess the sun and everything else for years versus, what was as much as a foot or something underneath." Anyway, it's
Hmm.
pretty. There you go. Follow
Very
up there.
nice. Very nice.
How about your
Well,
topic? What'd you bring tonight?
so my topic ends up being Apple. We don't talk about Apple a whole lot.
We haven't recently.
So CISA sounding the alarm because install security updates continues to be the hardest instruction in IT. So
Yes.
the government agency, CISA, just sent 4 actively exploited bugs from Microsoft, VMware, Apple straight into its known exploited vulnerabilities list with a patch it now, please target. So there's a Microsoft Windows one, it's a remote code execution. A patch was pushed back in April, but it let unauthenticated attackers create malformed packets. And then the threat actors were now pairing with AI driven autonomous hacking tools, and they could literally hack us while the sysadmins procrastinated there.
One of
We
those
actually talked about
examples where
those.
the the
Yeah.
the pat yeah the patch comes out, and then if you don't
Yeah.
patch, the exploit will follow.
Yes. And then there was an authentication bypass fixed on Microsoft SharePoint and VMware, uh, code execution flaw. It was a open source SSH reverse shell. They could throw at vulnerable servers, but the Apple
Less than a week
yes,
after the VMware patch
dropped.
to the exploit.
Yeah,
Oof.
the good one, the one that caught my eye in all this though was even us Mac users, we don't get a hall pass.
Okay.
The attackers can bypass authentication and grab root access
Ooh.
because it's 2026. And how they did it is it was a screen screen sharing vulnerability.
Interesting.
So
I don't often use Mac screen sharing.
I use it quite a bit actually. So
Yeah.
all right. Anyway, so those are kind of the big ones. They all have fixes for them. Patch your machines. Otherwise, an AI bot is going to gladly administer your machine for you.
I
So
did verify my Zoom client was updated.
last week.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes. Yes. It's a big one. Um, okay. The one I saw, uh, did they just release that blog post today? Actually, let me look at August 18th, which I guess is yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, OpenAI is
Mm.
pausing its training on its latest model, Astra, for 2 weeks to strengthen security and monitoring around the research environment. So this is sort of a follow-up for the Hugging Face incident from a couple of weeks ago. I think we
Yeah.
mentioned that. So the company says the risk changes as an unreleased model becomes more capable. A system being tested inside the lab can itself become part of the threat model, you think, especially when the work involves cyber tasks. I mean, so I went, think I'm pretty, I read, if you go read the blog post, they're relatively speak transparently about what they're doing and why they're doing it. So,
Okay.
fingers are crossed. So OpenAI describes 3 areas of work: stronger monitoring, stronger alignment measures, and stronger security controls, including better isolation between workloads and networks and a rebuilt security testing process. Basically, they were having very thin walls in their testing environment prior. Cue the Facebook Hugging Face escape. But they're basically taking a pause on training and evaluation to do some infrastructure hardening and red teaming, they said. So they said that small scale reinforcement learning has resumed, but its largest planned frontier reinforcement learning run remains paused. That's on the model code name was Astra,
Okay.
which if there's a timeline for that, I am unaware of it, and it certainly wasn't in this article. So it's interesting. This is John's commentary, not the article commentary. The frontier labs are absolutely in a race for model release, but also in a little bit of a who's gonna jump in first, because there might be sharks in those waters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting. I think it's an interesting to watch on, hey, how's it going to go, and what are the comparisons, etc. So, I've been doing just a ton of stuff with Soul lately, and it's really good. I'm not sure that it's Opus. I mean, it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm kind of wincing because I've had 3 examples today where it failed me, and I was like, really? Is that you thought that was a good idea?
I referred to one of my AI minions as an idiot earlier
Oh,
today. It did
yeah.
something that I was like, why would you even think that's what I meant?
Oh,
Clearly, I was not clear.
yeah. I'm actually I won't go into details here. Probably not good, but I think I have a personal example of oh, that's what you did, huh? I'm going to revert that
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
one of my side projects of, I know I told you that that's what I did, and you sure spent a lot of time trying to make that work, but that was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the
uh,
OpenAI one, but um, obviously these are models that are currently in fine tuning, and I mean they used RL, or reinforcement learning, a number of times here. So OpenAI's descriptions of its own models and the controls, public doesn't know exactly what they're doing there, or can't. There's no way to independently evaluate the unreleased systems or the the guardrails and what do they call it? Alignment, I think was the word that they were using. Yeah, that they're talking about. But anyway, training speed is no longer being presented as only a compute and research question. In order to maintain the pace, it also depends on whether the containment and monitoring can keep up, which is absolutely, absolutely a true statement. So it's interesting. Pause, take a bit of a pause for a couple weeks and see what they do.
Okay.
Yeah. It kind of follows along with, Anthropic. I saw an article this week too that Anthropic is potentially going to go public with a $2 trillion valuation.
I used to think billions were incomprehensible.
Remember when you thought a unicorn was a $1 billion company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. It just doesn't compute in my head.
It doesn't. But I saw another article today. It might have made my something fun or something like that about a humanoid robot company in China that released a new robot and or went public, I think, and massively oversubscribed and 10x. I think they went 10x their opening price on from the initial IPO offering. So now what we need is a frontier model inside a humanoid robot. What could possibly go wrong?
I do not think, what could possibly go wrong?
All right. Anyway, so there you go. That was the thing I saw yesterday about OpenAI doing a pause on its training for security reasons.
Okay. Good for them.
There you go.
All right.
Hit me up with something fun.
I'm going to go old school on something fun. Voyager I.
I love it.
Launched in the 70s, right? There is a website, whereisvoyager1.com, and it was supposed to, I think we've actually talked about this before.
We have totally talked about this, but hold on. Yeah.
This one is now, so the highlight for this one is now, it is going to be one light day away from Earth in November. So whereisvoyager1.com is a countdown clock with how far away it's been. I mean, it's almost 16 billion miles from Earth at this point. It takes almost an entire 24 hours to make a radio signal, one-way trip to Earth. And it's still cranking away with its, I think, 22 watts of power, pumping data, still to NASA 50 years later.
Isn't that awesome?
Which is just amazing. So this is a cool website. November 18th, 2026, Voyager 1 will become the first human-made object to be one full light day away from Earth, 16 billion miles away from Earth. And so they're keeping track of it. There is, because Earth goes around the sun, just for part of every year, we can actually chase Voyager down. So the distance fluctuates a little bit, but when you're 16 billion miles away, it's not that much that it fluctuates.
Yeah.
Right. So there you go. NASA's just milking this one. Its decaying plutonium battery just keeps going, and it's screaming away from Earth at 380,000 miles an hour. So if you were grumpy that your Wi-Fi is flaky, NASA's been debugging 50-year-old assembly code across 16 billion miles of space. And you can now watch it drift into eternity in real time. So
this is super cool.
Where is Voyager 1? And it's the number one. So where is Voyager and the number one.com? Go check it out.
Yes, I am looking at it right here. And I think the coolest stat that's on this page, I bet you can tell which one I'm going to talk about, because it's probably your favorite one too.
Oh, time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The time dilation.
Time dilation.
The Voyager clock
Clock.
lags Earth by 2.449452 seconds.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. There you go.
That's quite a ways away.
It's going very fast. 37,763 miles per hour.
Yeah. So, super cool. Anyways.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I actually saw this article for a bit of a different reason because, I saw Moderna. I saw an article or a blog or something like that Moderna stock like skyrocketed today because they pre-released findings for a stage 3 trial of a cancer vaccine that evidently the results from it said about 1,100 patients were really positive. Now they haven't actually released they're like building buzz, I guess, or something like that. Because I at least wasn't able to find the backing data, which will be presented at some conference, and presumably have a paper out. So I'm hoping and expecting for more data at some point, but it's for melanoma.
Okay.
Evidently, it's a small percentage of people that get this cancer, like it's a 1% or something like that. But the CNBC article at least said that it accounts for a large number of deaths by this, and evidently people that get it are have to be very cognizant and have surgical removal and blah blah blah, a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So, one of the cool things about this, so Moderna, right? What are they known for? They were one of the COVID vaccines, mRNA, and this treatment is designed from mutations identified in an individual patient's tumor. So this is not a general vaccine; it is a Eric vaccine or a John vaccine.
Targeted vaccine.
So they basically take markers from your tumor, develop the mRNA. What did it say?
Mix it with the exploding cells of a flatworm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it says sequence the patient's tumor cells and healthy cells, compare them to identify mutations unique to the cancer, and then use software to select up to 34 mutations likely to make good immune system targets and synthesize an mRNA molecule encoding those targets and package it as that patient's vaccine. And then they use this. So the interesting thing, it was also a kind of a joint thing with Merck for Keytruda. Evidently, Keytruda helps remove a brake. So it's a PD-1 brake that can prevent immune cells from attacking the cancer. So basically it's this is what you want to attack and then license to kill, sort of, so to speak.
Okay.
Of 1-2 punch. So I like, what's the data? 1,100 patients. And actually, I don't even know that I remember if that's 1,100 in the control and experimental set, or if it's 1,100. Anyway, I don't know enough about the data, but I was still worth like being super awesome. Check it out.
Yay, science!
So, and good timing, please. Get all these things out in the next decade or two, please. As I age
into that
as I
target
rapidly
demographic.
exactly. Like, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm better. I'm certainly better now than I used to be about having, sunscreen. But I get a pretty brutal farmer tan every year.
Every
so,
summer, yeah.
But anyway, here you go.
Nice.
Like, come on, it's coming. It's coming.
Very nice.
Fingers crossed.
Well, awesome, John.
So, all right, my friend. Have a good night.
You too. Have a great night. We
I will
will
talk to you
see
later.
you next week. Bye.
Sounds good. Bye.